Okay, so I was thinking about what somebody said regarding cartoon art styles. Now, let me read. Why are cartoony styles less appreciated? When I say cartoony, I mean styles that rely heavily on shapes and mostly flat colors, specifically Western cartoons. Think of Dexter's Laboratory or the Powerful Girls. I don't want it to sound like I'm complaining. I'm just genuinely curious. Like, of course, when it's animated, people seem to love it to death, but when it's just a still image, people tend to overlook it for a semi realistic style or anime style, and I never got why. Is it due to the lack of detail? The shapes, the way it's portrayed, because like typically cartoons are drawn in a way to express an action more clearly, so there will barely be any character overlap or realistic expressions or proportions. Am I just overreacting things, or are cartoony styles only appreciated when they're animated? Because it feels like the styles aren't appreciated enough. But love your views and opinions on this. And a reminder, I'm not trying to say the style is bad. I personally love cartoony simple styles, but a lot of people don't seem to appreciate them as much. Okay, so I see where this person is coming from. Okay. Why are cartoony styles less appreciated? Let me get into it. So, what I've been noticing nowadays, there's a bunch of people who enjoy anime, and that's fine. What I've been hearing a lot though when it comes to cartoons and why a lot of people don't like cartoons and like settle for animes because they think cartoons look too simple. They when they say this, like they say the argument is it looks too childish and it just ain't as appealing as anime. And the reason they say this is because the character designs in anime are much more detailed and the backgrounds are much more detailed. But here's the thing, just because you have detailed character designs and detailed backgrounds, it doesn't necessarily mean that the show is going to be good based off of that. Not only that, people need to realize just because cartooning looks simple doesn't mean the creator doesn't know how to draw. It's called stylizing, right? And when you stylize something, it's not always going to be detailed. People draw in many different ways. Cartooning is a different form of art from anime. Cartoons can look like anime, but sometimes they don't, and that's fine. And just because it looks simple on the outside doesn't mean it's simple when they put the stuff together. For example, some cartoon characters are drawn with shapes and very detailed. When you see these model sheets that they used back then, you know, the model sheets of cartoon characters, if you looked at those and then you looked at the design, visual design, you will see how much effort and detail that these characters have. I feel like people downplay cartoon art styles a lot, and it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit too as well. And I get what this person is saying. I like anime and cartoons, and for people to say, well, cartoons is too stylish and they're too simple, I like to argue that you may think they are simple, my friend, but these people might be just talking about the main shows that they grew up watching, like Cartoon Network shows. They look this simple. Some shows look this simple. Nickelodeon, some of their shows look this simple too. But if you go way back to the 80s, you had shows with details that didn't really look simple, and they were cartoons. Filmation shows. You had Dink cartoons. You had Hanna-Barbera. But yet, anime fans, people who praise the anime genre for its art, they always say cartoons is so childish and it's just for kids. there's various types of cartoons. So you can't just say based on certain cartoons that the style is just too simple, because you're generalizing the entire genre, and all anime isn't detailed either. All manga artists aren't very skilled artists either. So, and when she says, I said she's, and when they say that the realistic style and anime style is praised more, yes, it is. They're not lying about that. They are not lying about that. Like, I've been saying that anytime an artist draws an anime style, it's automatically gonna be placed on it, like on top of everything, overall everything, because it's a bunch of people who think the anime art style is superior to any other art style. This also, well, it's hard to explain, but yeah, they do overpraise the anime art style, and they do overpraise the realistic art style. Like, they make it seem like just because you draw a cartoon style is just like your skill level is very low. Well, people automatically put you on a pedestal just because you draw anime stuff, because it's a bunch of people who just like that art style. And then at the same time, though, I've been seeing a bunch of artists is just like, I don't know, but it's just their mindset when it comes to anime art. They automatically think, oh well, you're a professional. Oh well, you're a very good artist. Anybody can draw anime stuff. Anybody can draw cartoon stuff. Just because you like a certain form of art doesn't mean that art is over another form of art. There is many different types of art from around the world, and since anime is becoming more popular with people, it has always been popular, but there's gonna be like a bunch of people who put it over any forms of art because they think that the art style just is so perfect and that nothing else can be as good as anime art. And it's just foolish for people to think like that. And that's why anime artists don't think that realism is just like something that you really need to study on. They think that's kind of useless too. But here's the thing, just because you draw anime, it doesn't mean you're like a skilled artist. It just shows that you have some artistic skill, but it's mostly just tied to anime stuff. You don't know how to draw anything else outside of that. Like, well, it shows you that anime artists aren't very skilled in any other places when it comes to them making artwork. Some of them are very skilled, and some of them do know how to expand out of their comfort zone, but some of them don't want to, and they're stuck in their comfort zone as a result. I mean, some of them don't want to, and as a result, they're stuck drawing anime for years, and then when they get to a certain style, they think they're good, when in reality, it's just them drawing the same stuff over and over, being stuck at the same skill level that they always has been. Regarding realistic art, it is a very impressive skill, because not only are you drawing at you're not drawing at a basic level when you draw realism. It's like a very skilled level. It shouldn't be downplayed just because a bunch of people don't like that type of form of art. And I feel like when anime fans say they don't like realism, then like you probably don't like a part of anime, because the Japanese artists know how to draw realism as well. Anime ain't just drawing art style is also a part of realism too. Japanese people know how to draw from real life. When they draw the mangas and stuff, they drawing backgrounds and drawing realistic looking people. It might be stylized, but that realism is like disguised underneath the stylization. So of course you have to learn how to draw realism as well if you're going to make you a manga, or at least improve like your anime skills. But back to what I was saying, of course cartoons will always be below and always seen as something childish and immature and not very detailed or skilled, because people don't understand cartooning. Some people just don't understand it. In art school, that's what they're going to school for. They're not just going to school to draw basic looking characters. They're going to school to learn art, how to animate, and how to, put stuff together, improving in their skill sets even more. Y'all might think that cartooning is just like something that's easy to do. It's not easy to do, because even cartoonists aren't like, there are several videos are on cartoonists explaining how they made the characters and how they draw them and how it's put together. Cartooning is not just something that looks simple. It's more than it. Like I said, if you take a look at character and model sheets and then you look at the official design, you won't be just saying that the characters are too simple and basic, and that cartooning is just not on the same level as anime, because they actually are. They just don't look all detailed like anime. It takes skills to disguise, like it takes skills to disguise the elements that goes into the process of cartooning. It might look like I said before, simple, but they disguising how they put the characters together, disguising how everything works. Like some of these cartoonists say they use shapes and stuff, but you don't know how to use these shapes. You only know how to use the shapes just by looking at the model sheets. And then they don't even draw it how we draw it. They draw it like sketching, and then they have all these types of it's just like various different types of ways that they put the character together, It's not just to draw a cartoon character and then they finish. No. It's a whole process. So I'm sick and tired of people saying cartoons is too simple and basic looking, because that's not the case. Just because something doesn't look detailed doesn't mean like the show is bad and the people don't know how to draw. If you've seen shows like Adventure Time, it has so much details and stuff, and the art is real good. They literally have dots for eyes. They're real skinny, right? But the show is filled with many different backgrounds and stuff and diverse characters. Like, what else is this show? Another cartoon show that really looks basic. I don't understand anime fans when they say this, because it's obviously that y'all don't know what y'all talking about. It's just like a preference thing. Like, y'all just so used to anime, seeing anime to the point where y'all don't realize that some anime don't even look that good artistic wise. I've seen some shows that weren't even drawn as well as cartoons when I was watching anime. They be having bad anatomy too. They be having wide necks, long chins, and freaking their bodies. Oh my god, their bodies be like too skinny, and then their head look like it's just like, I don't know, too small for their body. the list goes on. I think these people are just delusional. I mean, realism, it's not bad either. It's actually a great skill that y'all should be trying to reach. Like, when you learn how to draw really difficult stuff, it benefits you in certain ways as an artist. But overall, I think that it's just like I said before in my old video, it's art style judgment. The people will automatically put anime and anything else that's not anime below because they think everything that is anime is perfect. It can't be bad, and that like just because it's detailed, it's just like superior than any other art form. It's just like a preference. They're so used to seeing it that they can't see the flaws in the art style. But to me, I think cartoon art styles are awesome, and I think they're very creative. And then, like with cartoon art styles, they're always diverse. You can tell them apart. You can tell how a show is going to be just by looking at them. The characters, you can always tell the cartoon characters apart. They don't always look the same. They ain't got the same face syndrome problem that anime has. The same looking protagonists, the same faces, the same like generic looking anime girl face that they got nowadays. You can tell, like with anime, you can tell this anime because of the certain art style that it has. All anime don't look alike, but it's just like it's hard to find unique art styles. It just depends, because most anime does look the same. Regarding, it's hard to explain. I know a lot of people gonna say all anime don't look the same. Some don't. Like, I think like the shonen art styles always look different. I think it depends on the genre. But like I said, cartoons ain't got that problem. You can easily tell which character is from what show regarding cartoons. And the protagonists, they will probably bring up that they wear the same clothes, right? It's a cartoon. It's not supposed to be realistic. With anime, it's a cartoon. Also, it's like Japanese animation, but some of them don't change their clothes either. That is also like not realistic. And just because, like I said, the show has more detailed stuff doesn't mean it's gonna automatically make it seem like it's a good show. You know, that doesn't mean it's gonna necessarily be a good show. But I'm glad this person brought this topic up, because it really shows how the art community is just put themselves in a major bubble where they just praise anime stuff and everything is below it just because of art preference. And it's not bad to have an art preference, but just because you like something else that somebody else don't like or prefer, or you don't like cartoons, which is fine, you ain't gotta trash it and put it below everything else. People are free to have their own opinions. I understand it too, but I feel like people don't understand what goes into cartooning, other than like you looking at cartoons on a surface level. You're not looking at the things that goes along with it. But that's all I gotta say about this topic. It was difficult to explain it, but I think I did. But let me know what you think about this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in the next video.